today we're going to be discussing areas of support, right? And then we're going to touch into detail with regards to SBR and RBS, right? So fine. But in this case, I want to make them bite-sized videos. So in this case, we're going to be touching on um, RBS, right? And also the most important thing with deciding which zone to pick, right? And I'm also going to add mitigations as well so that you can be able to understand. But for now, we're going to start with mitigation. I'm going to refresh your minds with regards to how areas of support are formed and how to look at areas of support, right? So let me change the color here. Okay, so right here, right here, right here. Let's start with this candle right here. So let's say that this candle, right? Let's say that this candle took out a low, right? I'm not gonna draw that other one right here, right? Or let me just bring this one right here. Let me just bring this one right here. Although it wasn't part of the plan, but it's okay. So I'm gonna draw it like that. Actually, let me leave it like that. Let me leave it like this. So come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm being very slow right now. Okay, so fine. These ones look way too neat for me to just like bruh. Right? Okay, fine. Let's say that we have an important low, right? The way where we're going to look for areas of support is when price um, is around these areas of importance, right? Or these important lows. So in this case, we traded lower, and then with this bullish candle, we traded below this important low. What happened here? What happened here? We were collecting stops, right? For those who had sell stops here, they were triggered in a sell, and then the market went against them. It looks something like this. It looks something like this. It looks something like this. You have a sell stop here, right? You're saying when the market goes below this low, I want it to trigger me in a sell. And then the market trades lower and then pushes high to stop you out. Someone might have a bigger stop than this one. They might have a stop right here. Who knows? So, fine. That's what happened here. Fine. So, after that, what do you observe? Once this candle closes, this is where your area of support is, right? So, right now, you mark up your support based on your first candle, right? Based on your first candle. If you want to mark up your area of resistance, you look at your buy candle and then your sell candle. The first candle right here, which is your buy candle, that's where your resistance is going to be. Fine. This is your area of support. This is your area of support right here. Let me bring this to the bottom. So fine. Since well, we have something like this where you are going to look for a trade. Let's say the market is somewhere right here. You'd want to be a buyer at this area, right around here, with your stop loss below that candle, right? But remember, this is just hypothetical. When we go to the market, we use tentative stop loss on most of our trades. So ideally, you'd want to be a buyer from here, right? So when the market trades lower into that area of support, I'll just mark it in pink maybe. other charts. So you'd want to be a buyer from here, and then once it triggers you in, you're in the trade. Fine. Let's say that you missed the trade. Let's say that you missed the trade, but you saw something like this, right? You saw something like this, and price is right here right now. You have to look for two things when you are trading with SNR, right? You have to look for two areas, two most important areas where you can buy from, right? In this case, it's obviously a possible buy. So I'm gonna show you something very important, and I need you to focus because um, what I'm gonna show you now is actually going to disregard the fact that I was going to show you the other things right now on the other slides. So let's assume that the market is right here, right? Let's assume that this is where the market is, right? And it has already mitigated this lowest area of support, right? It has already mitigated this area, right? It means that you are never going to use this area again because we already mitigated it. So fine, you have to look for a new area to buy from. Which area would you mark? Obviously, sell, then buy, right? This is your area of what? Area of support, right here, right? And then, where's your second one? Where's your second, let me just quickly add some wicks here. Where's your second area? Where's your second area that you'd want to look for a buy? Because you have to have two alternatives around your buy area. That's the most important thing, right? You have to have two alternatives. That's the rule which I'm giving you guys. You have to have two alternatives, two options. So which area would you mark up? And I know most of you might be looking at this area. You're not. You're actually correct, but wrong at the same time. This is a buy, a possible buy area, right? But I'm gonna show you something, right? Remember, SNR, right? So whenever we create an area of support, right? Whenever we create an area of resistance, right? This buy and then sell with this candle. Whenever we create an area of resistance, if we break above it, what does it become? It becomes an area of support, right? So what is this here, right? We took out an important low. We retested the lowest area of support and then traded high. But what happened here? We had a buy and then a sell prior to this candle. This was an area of what? An area of resistance right here. And then we broke above that area of resistance, making it what? An area of support. Resistance breaks, becomes what? Support. Center back. Resistance breaks, becomes support. So that's what happened here. I know the colors on this thing won't do any justice. You can see because of the shade of this candle, I made it a bit lighter. So this was resistance. Resistance breaks, becomes support. Right? In other terms, it's also known as RBS. Right? RBS. RBS. Just like that. Resistance breaks, becomes support. So this is your support level. I'm not really sure if it's gonna show anywhere. Okay, it's gonna show. The opacity on the text is not on. This is just your normal support level, right? Your sell to buy, and then this one we broke above that area of resistance. So what I want to share with you guys, the most important thing, if ever we did not have any mitigation around here, our two main focus, right? Actually, let me say this. Always focus on the two lowest areas which have not yet been mitigated, right? I wouldn't focus here for a buy. Why? Because obviously, if I was to focus here, it means that if price does this, I have to take a buy because you have to first start with the area that you're going to encounter. So this one is not the lowest, like it's not the lowest. Take the lowest two. So the lowest two between this open close, between this RBS and between this support level is this RBS and this area of support. So this one is not important. So your area of importance is going to be this one. So when price returns back to this area, you'd anticipate a bullish move, right? Right now, I'm just giving you the structure. I'm just showing you how to look at the market in a more advanced way because you might miss a lot of setups because you're used to one setup and you're not able to actually take opportunity when it's right in front of your eyes because you're waiting for one setup that you're used to. It's okay to focus on one setup because it allows you to be disciplined. But in this case, I'm going to show you something very important. Let me see. Let me just take a screenshot of this and I'll paste it here. Hopefully, I remember it. Now, this one is for the Telegram. Let me paste this one here. Okay, we're gonna go to the charts right now. I want to show you something. Let's go to the daily. So on the daily, what would you say is the reason that price ended up turning from here? Because one thing for sure, we do have this area right here. We do have this area right here. These are the two lowest areas that we can buy from on the daily, right? But why did price not come back to this area? We're gonna go to the 4 hour now, and I'm gonna come back to the daily and give you reasons. Actually, on the 4 hour, it's gonna cover everything, but maybe for now, I'll just reduce the opacity of all these lines so that we can be able to understand that the daily where the daily levels are. So on the 4 hour, you'll see something very, very, very beautiful. So on the 4 hour, actually, let's get back to the daily. I want to see something. If there's anything important that I did not highlight, fine. Before we go to the 4 hour, we can see that this area, right, this area that we wanted to buy from, it traded into this area of support, right? And then we got this bullish move. Fine. Let's go to the 4 hour now. So when we go to the 4 hour, what we notice is that price price tapped that daily level, right? And then it traded a bit higher and then traded lower to then touch this bullish open close right here, right? This bullish open close. Why did it react to this bullish open close? And why would someone decide to choose this bullish open close? Because initially we had support here and then we created a new support here, right? So this is the first area that we would want to buy from. Where would the second area be? The open close. So when price comes back here, which area is it going to hit first? It's going to be this one. And then what happens? Price taps this open close right here and then starts being bullish. Fine. I'm going to move these things to the right for a little bit. So once price taps this 4 hour area, because we have two areas, we don't just focus on one. We don't control the market, bro. So what we can see, remember, this is not just an SNR mentorship. This is SNR plus SMC. We traded below this old low right here. taking out stops, right? Then what happened? Sell and then buy. What is this? This is an area of support. You would have wanted to be a buyer from here, right? This is ideally what you'd want to do in most cases. Fine. And then what did price do? Price traded higher aggressively. What did it leave behind? Because already you missed out on this trade, right? We are assuming that you did not get the trade. So, since all you missed out on the trade, and we got this aggressive bullish candle, where is your POIs? Where are your POIs? It's here, right? Right here. This is your POI. This is your area of support, rather. I'm sorry, I'm mixing it with SMC. So, this is area number one. Where's area number two? Area number two, we have a buy and then a sell. This was an area of support, right? When we break above it, this was an area of resistance, right? When we break above it, what does it become? It becomes an area of support. It becomes an area of support. So I'm gonna mark them up like this. This is a support level. This is resistance, breaks become support. This is RBS, and then this is support level, right? Very, very clear. Why am I choosing this area? It's because there's no other area below these ones which was not mitigated. This low right here. After we tapped this open close to get support, we mitigated this new support that we created here. We already mitigated it, bro. And then we created a new area of support and then traded away from it aggressively. We have to find the two lowest areas we can buy from. It's this support level and then RBS, resistance breaks become support. So which area would you want to be a buyer from? You'd want to start with the area that you are going to encounter first. So that's the reason why gold on the daily reversed from here, right? That's the reason why gold on the daily reversed from here instead of here. Because even if you zoom in, right? Even if you zoom in, you can see that fine. Let me show you something actually. Let me show you something so that you don't think that I'm bullshitting you guys. So if let's say I was to mark this low, right? If let's say I was to say, why don't I just mark the daily low and wait for it at the daily low? Show me an area which is not unmitigated, unless maybe I didn't see it, but for me, around here, around this daily level, do you see any unmitigated level? Do you see any unmitigated candle right here? Do you see it? There's nothing. There's nothing on the 4 hour which was not unmitigated. If this one, if this one, if this candle right here, if this area of support was not tapped by this candle, we would be looking at something different. We would be wanting to buy from here, right? Because this area would have not been mitigated. But in this case, it was mitigated. So there's no reason for us to use this daily level. We have to use the 4 hour area. And then price just shoots higher. So fine. Another scenario which actually happened, right? Which is similar to this one, right? I'm going to show you two scenarios so that you can be able to have an open mind. Hopefully I'm recording less. Okay, I am. I was going to be mad. So I'm going to show you two scenarios. So in this case, someone asked me, I think, yeah, I was on a Zoom call with Terrence. Terrence asked me, why did I mark up this move right here at the high of this candle? Is because of RBS, right? And I'm gonna show it to you. And then he asked me why here I marked it at the low, right? Below this the body of this candle, and then why here I marked it above this candle. I'm gonna show you. So it's gonna sound a bit counterintuitive, right? So fine. The first thing which I did already, I was looking for a buy, right? Because we found support here. We found support here. Why am I saying we found support here? We created an area of resistance, buy, sell, and then we break above that area of resistance to create it, to make it a support. This was an RBS on its own. RBS, right? Or rally base rally, whatever you want to call it now. So after that, it pushed price higher. So making this low very strong, right? This low is very strong. I didn't want to see it being taken out. Why? Why did I not want to see this low being taken out? Because on the weekly, I had a target, bro. I had a target. I was targeting this weekly resistance, right? So back to the 4 hour. You can see that from here, when price is here, when price was here, we were nowhere near this weekly resistance, bro. We were nowhere near that. So where am I going to buy so that I can reach the weekly resistance? I'm going to zoom in now. So we tapped this area of support, right? What did we do? Sell, buy. After tapping here, we create an area of support, and then we use that area of support, right? We use that area of support and then trade it higher. Let me now zoom in and then trade it higher, right? So the same thing as the previous example. If you missed a trade here, right? Let's assume that we missed the trade here, right? And price created a new area of support. This is area number 1. Where is area number 2? If the market was here, where would area number 2 be? Buy and then sell, right? So I'm gonna mark it here. This is area number 2. Then price decided to shoot higher, right? You would have bought from here if you saw the trade, right? You would have bought from here. But in this case, you did not manage. Let's say you missed this first trade and then you missed the second one, right? So when price comes back here, just because this RBS was mitigated does not mean that you would assume that your 2 lower areas is going to be this one, and this one. This one will never be your 2 lower area as long as previously you had established your 2 lower areas, right? The reason is that once you mitigate an area, once we mitigate an area, I don't want to see price using any area of support if it took a long time away from that area. Once it comes back near where it flew off from, I'm gonna want to see it trading below that area. And this is how I view it. This is how I view it. If we uh, have 2 areas of support, right? We retest the first one like this. I want to show it to you. This is just a diagram. We retest the first area like that and trade away from it aggressively, and then we create another new area right here. I wouldn't want to be a buyer from here. No, 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 no. Actually, let me just draw it properly so that you can see. I want you to understand 2 areas of support, right? 2 areas of support. If we retest the first area like this and then trade higher, create a small area of support right here, maybe an open close, then keep trading higher away from it. If we trade lower, I'm not going to use this area. I'm going to use the lowest one which I previously marked up. Why? This for me, this area which retested the first area of support, I'm going to view it as an area of liquidity, right? I'm going to view it as liquidity, just like that. Let me show you. Let me show you. entered into this area of support, right? Sell and then buy. And then after that, we after we retested this area, we created a new area of support, right? It was like this, price was like this. We created a new area of support right here, right? So after that, another area of support, we have to look for two areas, remember, is the buy and then sell. It was the resistance, then we broke above it. It now becomes an area of support. So it was mitigated, right? So what does this look like on a lower time frame? It looks like a bullish move and then a lower move into here and then a trade higher. This is liquidity for this area of support. Do you see what I mean? This is liquidity for that area of support. So I wouldn't be interested in buying from here. It's quite unsafe, totally unsafe. So my entries, I'll mark them up like this because my initial lowest area has already been mitigated. I'm looking for two areas, but one of the areas has already been mitigated and we traded away from it for a long time. But we haven't yet reached our main target and we are coming back to that area and we never retested the lowest one, the lowest area. That's the reason why I sent out the buy, right? Then entry here, stop loss 30 pips, target right there, weekly resistance. This is basically the simplest way I can explain it. This is basically the simplest way. Even with this one, entry should have been here, right? If you were to be taken out on this entry, you just take it from this entry right here because there's no other area which is unmitigated below these two areas, right? 30 pips, 30 pips stop loss, and then maybe you could have held all of them, all of them. Yeah, I think we took all these trades, right? Oh, okay, I only took this one. Yeah, something like this. Very simple. Don't take it lightly. Just give yourself time to understand how I'm breaking them down and then try to mark them up on the chart. Try to talk to yourself while you're doing the analysis. You'll be able to understand them. So, yeah, with that said, see you on another one. Love you, boys. I'm out. And girls, obviously.